This hair is giving me so much creative energy. I couldn't have possibly wished for more. This is so cool, I know.
All right, not so far ago, we had a designer and a niche perfume haul. However, my shopping energy has been not so thoughtfully misplaced, and I just bought even more. I bought more perfumes. I'm trying to discover the best of the best, and we'll talk about what kind of best of what a little bit later when I show you a few examples. And it's just never-ending chain of wants and wishes, and this is why I'm actually entering a no-buy starting it actually started in the middle of October, but you'll see why. Because in the span of summer and like sort of first half of winter, I found so many deals. I found some Mercari deals from people, some eBay deals, some deals in online discount stores for perfumes, that my shopping kind of blew me way over my budget, and therefore in order to make sense all of these purchases and even have time to talk about all of them with you, I have to just quit cold turkey. That said, according to my estimation, I have enough perfumes. If I did like modest hauls, right, just like showing you a group of 5 to 3, I could have created enough content to last me for at least half of that year. However, I decided not to kind of split and keep showing you things, even though I've had them for, at that point, like 3 months, and kind of group it all together and do like Emmy Loves Perfume style, massive, gigantic, all you can eat kind of perfume buffets. We're gonna start with niche this time and move toward luxe and designer perfumes. So I'm not gonna spend too much time I'll try not to spend too much time on each one and just give you a sense for what kind of things I've been into lately. So I've been trying to find ways to sample some of the more niche perfume houses, which are very hard to find in order to like test out in the stores. So one of the websites, I think it's called Fragrance Buy or Fragrance Beta CA Canada. It's a Canadian discount fragrance shop online that they actually have slightly different suppliers. It seems that Perfume.com or FragranceLab.com, and I managed to get a few really interesting houses to try from them. So as I said, we're starting with niche. 3 perfumes I got from them, all of them in 30 ml bottles from Nicolai Perfumer Creator. So Patricia Nicolai is a family member, or a member of Guerlain family. So she is kind of like grew up in the royalty of any, like, as any perfume lover can imagine. This is probably like the creme de la creme of people who live in that world. So she has her own line, and that's called Nicolai Perfumer Creator. The line's fame to claim is that they make sophisticated yet natural sounding perfumes. So sounds very millennial to me, so let's see how good these are. So I got Amber Cashmere Intense, because who doesn't love amber, who doesn't love some cashmere? So it sounds very seductive, cozy, kind of hygge in a way. And again, if you don't know how they package those things, it's good. It's not super luxe, but it's fairly good for niche brand. So this is what the bottle looks like. I don't really see any of this kind of like fetish value in the way it's packaged. It's fine. There's nothing special. Honestly, I already sprayed it on the box. Honestly, I'm not sure I'm getting that kind of hygge vibe. To me, it smells like a little bit of a crazy blend of all notes you can imagine that are soft, powdery, and kind of nuanced. And I'm not sure if I'm liking this kind of blend. There's something about it that is just uncertain and muddy to me, but again, I just got these, so I'll have to test them more. Let me know if you tried any perfumes by Nicolai, and which of them do you like more. I kind of just had to go by the notes and the reviews on Fragrantica, so I'm not sure if I picked up the most representative ones, but you know, I'm showing you what I got. So Amber Cashmere Intense, so far don't see it becoming my favorite. The next one is Rose Royale. They have several roses and I think several ambers. The Rose Royale, to me, again the same deal here, and I also sprayed it on the cover. To me, it's a very generic garden rose perfume with a bit of a synthetic raspberry. Yeah, I like it even less, to be honest. It's definitely a no for me. I'll give it a go, but this is the first candidate to go. And the last one, the one that I actually liked so much that I would dare say I'm gonna pair it in a battle against Le Labo Neroli. So I'm looking for a sweet, rich, full of white flower, luxurious sweetness kind of neroli. And again, Nicolai has two types of neroli, and the one that I decided to get, since I was looking for something sweeter, was Neroli Intense. By majority of Fragrantica comments, this should deliver on the opulence of white flowers with a bit of a neroli edge. Again, the same deal, a 30 ml bottle, as you can see. I already sprayed it on the cover. Yeah, I'm liking this. I'm not a big fan of neroli as a note, because most of the time I met neroli through like different fragrance blends. It was always a little bit austere, a little bit harsh, a little bit, it's like a very, it's like a Cruella kind of English teacher. I don't know, that gives me like vibes of a bad day in school. But this kind of neroli, that's sweeter, more kind of royal, more opulent, more decadent, that is very interesting. So I'm gonna pair it against the Labo Neroli that also has a lot of the same vibes and see which one ends up being my favorite. Alright, another niche house, blind purchase without a doubt, and this is the house Parfums d'Orsay Paris. The interesting thing about this house that it had its kind of like time where it was really popular, at least in Europe, and now I don't really know what happened to them. I don't hear much about them. I also heard rumors that they discontinued their perfumes. There are other rumors that they are repackaging their perfumes. So if you know anything about this brand, or by any chance you are actually a representative of the brand, please leave a comment below, tell us what's up. Because what I got so far, I love. I'm loving it. So, the three perfumes that I got blindly just by looking at notes are, let's start from the most distinct one. This one, I already took some of the wrapping off. So this is a bright sky blue packaging with Parfums d'Orsay Paris Etiquette Blue. I got a really good deal on that Canadian website, and thanks again for my subscriber for pointing it out, because I didn't know that existed. And they have a quite interesting variety of niche brands that neither Perfume.com or FragranceNet.com actually have in their catalog. So the bottles, I would say this is a little bit more simple. The packaging of Parfums d'Orsay, a little bit on much simpler side, though. The form factor is interesting. It reminds me of some kind of Italian palazios for whatever reason. They have I don't know if this is a real heraldic sign or just a made-up marketing ploy, but all of the bottoms of the bottles have it, their signature heraldic sign. And when it comes to the juice itself, Etiquette Blue is supposed to be one of those perfect, vivid, refreshing fougères. So imagine a lot of different citruses, bergamot, all of this kind of green, juicy, citrusy, vibrant, almost like aftershave kind of feel. But obviously done in a much more sophisticated fashion than a cheap aftershave you could buy. So I bought it primarily because a lot of the comments said that this is the only refreshing aromatic fougere you ever need in your life, and like once you got that, pretty much consider yourself done. It does all of the job, and I got it on a really good deal, so you know how it goes. We'll see how much use I actually get out of it, because I'm not really that kind of girl. I rarely do use kind of zesty, citrusy perfumes that are heavy on bergamot or any kind of herbal freshness, but I like how it's blended. I would say it doesn't last that long. All of these have kind of like a feel of colognes rather than eau de parfum or even eau de toilette, but I do like how tastefully they are blended. There's something about it that I find to be very elegant. Alright, and the other one is called L'Intrigante. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. So, the Intrigante. So, the girl who intrigues. Okay. You see, this is what I always wanted Potin de Palaces to be by Atelier Bleu d'Orange, if not for that sweaty musk that they have in there. You see, you take Potin de Palaces by Atelier Bleu d'Orange and you remove that sexy, reed, sweaty, and a bit of like cat piss kind of musk. You remove that, that's what you get. So it has an undeniably a bit of a dusty vintage feel to it. It's a very, all of these perfumes I would say sit close to the skin. As I told, they're more colognes, and at the same time I got a comparison for you. They are kind of similar to Sweet William by Carner in Barcelona, by Fils de Dieu by Atelier Bleu d'Orange, by similar to a lot of perfumes by Artiste. So all of this kind of like nude, introverted, complex, well-blended spices with subtle nuances. That's my comfort zone. I absolutely love any perfume like this. Unfortunately, it's hard often to tell them apart, or at least explain what the difference between them is. They're very introverted, they're very quiet, their sophistication lives within, I don't know, 10 centimeters. So it's not something you wear to a club per se, but that's something that it's a quiet comfort of a well lived in sweater to me. So L'Intrigante, definitely a wearable, very lovely perfume for me. I'm not sure if it's super unique to my collection, but I will wear it with pleasure. So the third one that I got is La Dandy Parfum. So first one was La Dandy, I think, for men. And again, as far as I understand the history of style, is that the style of dandy is supposed to be very strictly controlled and curated elegance. Opulence that is very restrained and has its place in small doses. So when you're thinking about dandy, it's not necessarily the more is better. It's very controlled release and almost like hint of luxury within elegant restraints of kind of good taste, so to speak. La Dandy Parfum is supposed to give you that kind of like restrained opulence that doesn't scream at anyone, but gives you more confidence and almost makes you feel like it's almost like it gives you like extra degree in a way. I really like it. To me, it's similar, yet a little bit more like, it has a little bit of that, kind of like candy. There's something about it, like if it's something about it that's similar to L'Intrigante, but minus the dust, minus this kind of like old book feel, and more of a bit sweeter, a bit candier-like sophistication. Again, quiet nude cologne. I wouldn't recommend it if you're really into sort of beast mode kind of perfumes, but just for me, I have a soft spot for this kind of stuff. All right, I gotta speed up. The next one is I'm having a bit of a buyer remorse right now on this perfume. I bought it really late at night because for whatever reason I convinced myself that I need to find a perfume from this house that will be mine, you know, like a piece of that line that fits my personality. I don't know why I forced that choice, but I did. So we're talking about Juliet Has a Gun. I have a very complicated relationship with their fragrances because I like the concepts. I find the pyramids and the marketing really amusing and cool, but I don't like the juice. For whatever reason, most of the stuff they make, with noble exceptions in their selective, like their like higher end lines, I just find them to be obnoxious, chemical, and a bit loud. Like there's some grabby, zesty notes in them that annoy me the longer I wear the perfumes. However, if I had to choose, right, something that I can still sort of enjoy, I went with Lady Vengeance. Partially, I'm on the kind of research trip, my own research journey to find the best Gothic rose or Victorian rose perfume. And there are like a number of ways in which you can envision that kind of smell. And this, as you can see, satisfies all of the stylistic restrictions. One thing I gotta say, even though I'm not a big fan of this, I don't know what this is. This is kind of a packaging foam. I'm not a big fan of the way they wrap it, but the bottles actually are super heavy and they feel substantial. I didn't get the same feel from looking at the pictures of these perfumes, but once you get it in your hands, it's like a grenade. It has a very nice heaviness to it, and the lid is also metal and it feels very substantial and heavy. So 10 out of 10 for packaging. I actually didn't expect it to feel that luxurious in my hand. When it comes to the juice, well, many of you already know about Lady Vengeance. For those of you who haven't really paid attention to that line, Lady Vengeance is supposed to be this more emo/gothic kind of rose, which is a combination of patchouli, rose, some heavier notes, and a bit of a typical musk, kind of like a bit of a sour musk. Which again, like you combine musk with patchouli, this like modern chemical patchouli that is very oftenly put in a lot of patchouli kind of scents. So it's not mossy, deep, dark patchouli. It's more like a modern, it's almost like gives you this kind of tartness like berries could do, like sour berries could do. So that kind of modern patchouli. So imagine that. It's almost like, imagine cranberry with rose with a little bit of animalic twist, and you get Lady Vengeance. Some people swear by it, some people can stand it. I'm in a love-hate relationship with it because, again, love the concept, love the bottle, like the idea of it, but when it comes to actually wearing it on myself, I'm kind of like so I'm gonna give it a fair chance and report later. And if I finally finish my quest for the best medieval, gothic, opulent, deadly, lethal rose, I will definitely post a video closer to Christmas. If you're up for that kind of quest, please leave a comment below. Hopefully this is gonna go faster. So I got a few home fragrances from L'Artisan Perfumer. I was super intrigued by their line, and I found them on a huge sale at fragrancenet.com, so I went for it. It turns out I love them. And it turns out they serve beautifully, not only as room fragrances, but as a personal kind of light colognes. They don't last that long, but I enjoy how earthy they feel. So I got two. This one is cedar blue, and this is kind of like like a piney forest. That's how I describe a piney forest after a really light rain. Just barely, the one that just barely touched the ground, but it allowed everything to breathe. Cedar blue, beautiful. You could buy them from fragrancenet.com for like $20, which I thought was a really good deal. And the other one I got, and accidentally they sent me a scented candle instead of a home fragrance. So, interesting story. I got into horse riding in the recent years. Not like I'm not taking classes or anything, but I discovered horse riding in much later years than most of the kids. And as soon as I got this candle, and by the way, it's called Mimosa Marine, so sort of like a seaside mimosa. And when I smelled this candle, by the way, if you're curious, this is what it looks like. How much is here? 6.2 ounces. And as soon as I smelled this, like, oh my god, this is the smell of the horse farm. It's literally smells like horses. When you like come to a farm to ride horses, that's the smell. That's how it smells. As amusing as it is, I never attempted to burn it because I'm not sure I want my home to smell like that. So I wrote to fragrancenet.com and I said them, guys, I ordered a room fragrance and you sent me a scented candle. What you would do about this? And they actually just free of charge sent me the home fragrance as well. And what do you know? This actually smells differently. I don't know, maybe when I burn the candle, the scent will somehow be different. It's very common with scented candles that what you smell from the pot is not the same thing, not the same way that it smells when you're burning it. But when it comes to the actual room fragrance, okay, let me actually indulge for a minute. It's indeed this a bit of aquatic, like fresh bushes and mimosa trees after, again, for some reason, after a rain. There's like both of these have this after a rain kind of wetness, breathiness feel to them. This is beautiful. This is so beautiful. This is creates such an atmosphere at home. I'm loving this. Absolutely loving this. All right. Moving on the niche train and getting soon after this to designers. I already cut the box that this perfume came from into parts and I'm storing my makeup in it, so sorry I can't show you the packaging, but packaging is superb. This is Carner Barcelona. Should I say Barcelona or in more of a Mexican style Barcelona? I don't know, because it's a Spanish brand and there they say Barcelona. But I feel weird saying that since I live in the States, where Spanish is based on the South American pronunciation. Anyway, I'm confused. If any of you know how to correctly pronounce the brand name, please let me know. I love this brand. I love Carner Barcelona. They have an amazing line of very wearable, yummy, yet thoughtfully blended perfumes. If I ever had any criticisms toward them is how pricey they are for how not long-lasting they are. So in terms of their concepts, I wouldn't say they have the most revolutionary or surprising blends, but everything they do is just so well blended, so easy to wear, so pleasant. So I couldn't resist to buy this blindly. This is Perfume, Eau de Parfum. I couldn't resist it because the way that the notes were described, and look it up if you're curious, it made me think of a Christmas in up of the Swiss mountains in some cozy chalet with burning fire and the wood, and kind of like the cozy small little place where you're making maybe like a heavy liquor cocktail or glue wine. It's just full of these liquor, woody, rich notes that make me think of just taking a week off and just, you know, giving no fucks and just retreating from the world with a good book or a good movie, and just enjoying solitude somewhere in a bit of a warm, boozy coziness. Yes, Perfume is definitely one of the most it has the most character to me compared to all other perfumes that they carry in their lines so far. I haven't tried all of them, but so far. And this is also the longest lasting. Love it. Love it. So good for winter.